Talked about getting this serviced, your fireplace. There's a couple things here that we need to talk about. Number one, your gas turn-on valve is right over here. The valve itself is not hooked up into the unit. It's lying here open. The damper that opens and closes is stuck closed at this point. The handle is right up here. So we want to get that checked out. There are pieces of mortar that are simply falling off inside the firebox between the metal liner and the brick. It's just loose. So flue is very dirty. We haven't had this cleaned out in a while. So let's get a chimney sweep to come through and just service the entire unit, give you an estimate on cost. We have over here, we have our supply air for our heater. And the supply air is simply missing a filter. You want to put a filter in that, right in this area here. Your heater is really located right about here in this area. And this is where, again, where we need to have a service tech come into the crawl space and service that unit. Let's talk about the crawl space for a little bit. Now, we have all of the addition new foundation. Deadbolts for seismic, strapping all the way through. Back area all the way through is all seismically strapped. In the front area, there was one area that I could not get to because of the ductwork. The ductwork is about that thick, and that's about how much room there was to get down there. And I couldn't get into the front area of the living room and the kitchen. But I did get up to this wall, this front wall, to make sure that the wall, number one, looks good, because this is about the only remaining wall that there is. Almost everything else has been taken out. So the front living room wall, the joining wall here, and the kitchen wall is about the only remaining foundation from the original foundation. But that being said, it's unreinforced concrete, which is, not what you'd have today, but it looked to be in good shape. So they retroed where they needed to, and it looked like they did a really nice job with the foundation, and that is huge for this home, because any 80-year-old home, it's foundation, foundation, foundation. When I first get into the home, I'm turning on all the water supply throughout the house. I'm turning on the faucets in the bedrooms, the bathrooms, the kitchen, laundry area, make sure nothing's leaking, have it turn on for a while, then I get down into the crawl space to make sure nothing's leaking. Nothing's leaking. The majority of the dirt is bone dry. The exception is, again, this area right here underneath the living room. So if we were to add a surface drain system to the front left corner and gutters, that should take care of that problem. I got up in the attic, and they have completely taken out all the old ceiling rafters. So when they replaced the roof, whenever they did that, probably 5 to 7 years ago, is my guess, they took out all the old rafters and put all new truss work through the entire thing. It looks really, really good. It just looks like a brand new house. So up on the structure up here, underneath here, virtually brand new in every area except for that front corner for the foundation. So the roof, the attic looks good. You have insulation in the attic. You have matte fiberglass insulation up there. You also have insulation underneath the home, which is unusual. Most people don't go that extra step. So it should stay nice and cool and when it should, and warm when it should also. No pests, no droppings in the attic. The ventilation is so-so. I would have thought they would have added a little bit more ventilation. The next time you roof, it's going to be in the report to add maybe one of the fans that twirl to get a little bit extra ventilation up there. And without that, you may want to think about adding that. Without that, it is going to shorten the life of this roof that you have on right now. So it would be an addition. In the bathrooms, what we're doing simple things. We're making sure the hot's on the hot side, cold's on the cold side. We're running the overflow, making sure that's working. That's looking good here. GFCI, ground fault circuit interrupters, are both working. We have a fan for ventilation. We also have a window. And you have a jet tub, and this guy here is working. This handle here, this faucet handle here is not working very good. First of all, it does turn on, but it's really loose, number one. And when you turn for cold water, it only gets warm. It never gets cool. And then when you turn for hot, it gets hot. But you'd like to have that working correctly. So I recommend that we replace this. We'll go ahead and get cool water and get the panel to work correctly. So we fill this up, the jet tub, and turn on all the jets, and everything here is working fine. In this area, we're going to recommend, anytime you have steps, we would recommend a railing for it. So a rail right here would be recommended. In theory, this should not open up anytime over a step door, should not open up over a step. That's pretty minor though. Now this should close all the way. Get your fire door, and that's good. We're missing the threshold down here, the rubber, because we don't want smoke to get into the house, or emissions from car, or if we have a fire, we don't want that to happen here. Your water heater is 50 gallons, it's 3 years old, this thing's working fine. This should work for a long, long time. And I want to point out something. When the garage door closes, there's a laser light beam here, and that's not working as I go ahead and put my foot through to trip it. That should break. You have to get right up here to actually get it to work. So we need a little bit of work right there. And one other thing I want to point out to you is that here's the old foundation. We have some common cracks, but you can see here where they've done work to it. Okay, so the old foundation, the new foundation where they've done some work, and that's good. Looks like for the majority of a home to have this much work done on it, and when I do a home like this and this amount of work's been done, I slow things down. And I've gone back and double checked things and triple checked some things just to make sure things were done right. But it looks like they really did a pretty thorough job here. And it looks to be, for the most part, in excellent shape. So there's a few things here that need to be looked at, a few things that need to be serviced. But for the majority, the home is in very, very good shape. If you have any questions, when you get the report, simply call Eddie to get my number. I'm more than happy to talk to you about the report. Thank you.